So on our second podcast, we're joined by Stuart, who's one of our participants. We're going to be talking about his journey where we work for families and also about football. Yeah, Stuart, thanks for coming along and visiting us today. Obviously, you've not been a stranger to the We Work for Families office. So you joined us in January last year, along with Danielle. Can you tell us a wee bit about your journey with us?
So my journey has been a bit of a rocky road, obviously, in terms of my health, mentally, not physically. Physically I'm fit, mentally the world's your oyster, to be honest. You guys have kind of helped me through I wouldn't say the worst of it, obviously I've still got quite a bit of way to go, but it's kind of helped me gain a wee bit of confidence between workshops and Salis.
So you mentioned Salis, you've been meeting with them. How long's that been going on for?
I think it's about 6 months.
About 6 months. And what do you think? How's the impact of Salis been?
Salis is going to help me get a bit of a day-to-day routine. It's actually quite a wonderful wee resource.
I've got to say, I mean, obviously I've known you since last January and I can see a massive difference. We wouldn't be having this conversation for a start, I don't think.
Left the house.
No, exactly. So at least, you know, it's just, we love to see the difference that anything that we do in here makes our participants' lifestyle, their family, things like that. But I think particularly in your case, you've more or less came full circle. Right. So you have...
Because I went to not doing anything to... Now been out the house 2 nights a week, coaching football. I also do the games on a Sunday, and I also like to go and watch the other teams playing as well.
Yeah, and that's not something you would even have considered doing.
No.
This time last year, that would have been out the window. That wasn't happening.
Aye.
What about your football? How are you getting on with that?
Yeah, football is quite fun. From a coach's perspective, anyway, the football's a kind of pathway for everybody from any age to join. You can join as a coach, you can join as a player, you can even join as a team helper. Now, I started out as a team helper in September 2023 with the 2012s at the time. I then moved to the 2012 Blacks before taking up my own team, the 2010s, and I'm now the head coach of the 2010s.
Go on yourself, check you right out. No, it is. It's been an amazing journey. I think as well, We Work for Families funded some qualifications for you towards your coaching.
We Work for Families helped towards my 1.3, which will also open up kind of wider opportunities for work, because your 1.2 is your kind of minimum for youth and adult. Your 1.3 just gives you that bit of extra experience, and the ability to take different sides of the adult side. At the minute I'm coaching under 15s, whereas I can coach right up to the under 18s.
That's absolutely brilliant. How many teams have you got then throughout Ardea?
So Ardea in a whole has got 20 teams across their pathways.
Wow.
They've got the full boys pathway from mini kickers right through to the first team. And the girls team, they've got near enough the full pathway with one team missing, the under 16 girls.
Really?
So they're still looking for a head coach for the under 16 girls.
Right, if any head coaches out there for under 16 girls, that would be fabulous. Get in touch with us and we'll pass the details on. What do you need in terms of going forward with Ardea Thistle?
So for my team specifically, we are currently looking for some funding towards kits. When we started, obviously you don't start with anything, you get kits. Our home kits came from the Ardea 2009s, and they gave us their old kits as they picked up new kits. Whereas we've just managed to get our new away kit, which is the white one. We're still looking to get home kits and training kits.
Right.
Now the boys train in all forms of weather. Rain, sun, snow, wheel training it.
That's tough for me, having to be doing that.
It literally just is. You keep training until you can't train. The only time we can't train is when they cancel all the pitches. So it's about getting the boys the proper appropriate gear for doing it. So for the winter we want to get them joggies, which are similar to the ones that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And then the 3/4 zips for training. And then for home games we just need to get the red home kit.
So do you do a lot of fundraising yourself?
Yes.
Yep.
So a lot of our fundraising just now is coming from, if you've ever seen on the football team cards, and it's so much money, and we've been doing it with businesses, so you pay a wee bit of money towards it, The one that I'm doing just now is £5. I think it's £5 per team, £10 per team. Can't quite remember. And what that does is it goes towards a sponsorship on either the front chest or the back shoulders.
Yeah.
So your logo gets put on there.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Would you say it was safe for me to kind of summarise here that everything you're doing throughout the football, obviously, is off your own back, it's your job, it's what you're doing. Could I just say maybe that We Work for Families played quite a big part in you being able to get to that point?
So they did, because without We Work for Families, I wouldn't have had the confidence to then step into that role.
Uh-huh.
Now, it's okay being a team helper and being in the shadows, but to actually be the head coach of that team and be that face of that team, you have to have that bit of confidence. And I'll say to anybody out there, literally, if you want to become a volunteer for a football team, go for it. There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
And 1.3 is not the end of it. You can literally go in and do your UEFA C licence, UEFA B licence, you can go and do pro.
Yeah.
You can just keep going.
Brilliant. So what would you say to somebody that maybe sees this podcast or somebody We Work for Families social media, or even walking down the street and sees the Parent Hub?
We Work for Families is a fantastic resource. The amount of help that they've given us as a family, and how welcome they are, it's second to none. If you're thinking about getting in contact with them, my saying it is, do it. Literally, there's nothing else about it. They're not scary people. They're there to help you. They're literally there to just give you that bit of guidance and a wee bit of advice.
But no scary. Maybe Margaret is, but apart from that, everybody else is lovely.
Believe it or not, I've never met Margaret.
You're one of the lucky ones.
I think I've met everybody else right enough.
Aye, no, Margaret's lovely as well. So
and their wee party days are quite fun and all.
Aye, we've got another one of them coming up at Christmas. So we have...
You need to tell me when.
Exactly. We'll get you there, don't worry, you'll be there. So a huge big thank you to Stuart for popping along today, and thank you for joining us on our podcast, and we will hopefully see you again next time. Bye!